World Tankers? Welcome back to another one of my videos. I am Droodles, Blitz, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite tier 10 in the game. But I just want to say real quick, this is a complete opinion. This isn't saying that the tank is overpowered. This isn't saying anything about the tank in general. I'm just going to say why this is my favorite tank, how to run it, where to run it, and why I think it's just such a fantastic tank to run and maybe get some of you guys to go down the line. Now, I'm going to let you guys really quick, of course, guess which tank you think it is out of, like, what do I have, 30-something tier 10s? So you can see all of them right now. I'll scroll through all of them. You can see them all. Place your bets in the comments down below. But I bet the tier 10 I do pick might surprise quite a few of you. So without further ado, let's get stuck right into the first replay. And the tank is actually the Progetto 65. Now this probably surprised a lot of you guys, and actually surprised me that I think this is my favorite tier 10 currently in the game. And I wasn't expecting it to be when it first came out. I wasn't expecting it to be anything, super spectacular because of the nerf. And I wasn't super hyped about the Italian auto reloaders just because of the line and how funky it was when it came out. But, I free experienced the whole line, probably cost me $100, went straight up the line to get you guys a video out, because I usually like to get videos out while the topic is still hot. And I really just love this tank. I think it's so fun to run. And, my favorite tier 8 by far is the T49. It's just the most fun tank, and I know Skate loves the 49. I'm not sure if Meatsy loves the 49. I'm going to have to check out on that in some of his streams or maybe some of his videos. But the 49, the reason I love it is just because it's so unique at the tier, and of course because it just has that huge alpha damage gun. And the Progetto sort of has characteristics like the 49, where it's so unique it stands out in the tier that it's stuck in. Just like the T49, there's no tank at the tier 10 that is even closely related to the Progetto. They look similar. Mediums may have way better damage per minutes, but you can't replicate that auto-reloading thing. And I know Quickie Baby on World of Tanks PC, the Italian auto-reloaders are his favorite tank line. And I know that's a bad reference, but I'm just trying to say that the reason we love this tank, or I love this tank, should I say, so much, is just because of that awesome, unique ability that it gets. And for me, after a while, tier 10 gets kind of boring. I don't like to run tier 10s over and over, especially certain tier 10s, just because they get boring. Every tier 10 gets boring after a while. The Foch, it does get boring, even though it's completely overpowered. It does get boring just because, it's not the best tank overall for fighting against mediums once they get to the side of you. The Foch can, once you shoot off your clip, it's just the same thing over and over. Now, the Foch is very fun. I will say that. I would like to run the Foch, 20 games in a row. The Foch has always been one of my favorite tanks in the game, and I'd probably rate that number 3 or number 2. The same as like the 121, and the reason I love the 121 is because it stands out compared to the other tier 10 mediums at its class. And it's like the E50M. You can ram people. It's got very good armor. It's very quick. But the Progetto just has the most unique ability, and I could run this tank 100 times in a row tier 10 and still have fun in it because it's just such a unique playing style. And it by no means is it overpowered. It has, what, 2,600 damage per minute? That's awful. The 62A, I think, is sitting at 3,600, which means that literally the 62A is going to be doing 1,000 more damage to you every minute, where you're only able to deal literally like, half the damage, even if you're lucky, because the 62A is a tough target to penetrate. But what you did see there is we just whipped 1,050 hit points off that chieftain in one shell, and boom, we're back up and we slam one more into him. And you couldn't do that in any other autoloader in the game. You just couldn't do that because you would have shot off your clip, and then you would have had to reload the entire clip waiting 20 seconds. This tank, you have the unique ability of pushing on someone that maybe you'll bring down to 300 hit points, but unlike when you're running a tank like the FE 4005 where you could shoot them, you could shoot an E100 for 3 shells, bring them down to 50 health, but then he might tap a shell into you with HE for 1,000 damage and then ruin all of your happiness because he's able to reload within the next 5 seconds. This tank, you have the ability to, push on a medium, take 1,050 hit points off of that medium, and then run it like a normal medium tank. And even though your damage per minute may not be spectacular, it's still enough because that original 1,050 hit points was taken off of them to really just butcher them into nothing. And that's why I love this tank so much, is just because, you know, it's that amazing feeling that, oh, I missed a shot, give me 5 seconds, then I'll have my third shell back in the clip, I'll clip you out, and then I'll just use, you know, my tank like a normal medium and tap you over and over and over. And not to mention, the tank doesn't earn bad credits at all. It's got very, very nice credit coefficients, which was pretty surprising to me. But I do like it really just so much more than all the other tier 10s currently. And these replays I'm showing you may make the tank look super broken, super overpowered, make you want to rush right down the line. But don't get deceived by these replays. These are the best replays out of 130 games or whatever I've played in a tank. Obviously, I've got good games in the tank, as I have ran it 130 times. I've already got like, what, 10, 11 masteries in it. So it's definitely a tank that I love to run, and that's why I'm putting it in the video, of course. But it's just such a fun tank, and to be honest, I would suggest for 90% of you guys to go down this line. I'm going to be making a video on how the auto-reloading system works, how to maximize your damage per minute, because I know Wargaming posted a pretty good video on it, but I want to clarify it a little bit deeper, get into how to really maximize the line. And I'm not going to make videos on like the tier 7 or anything, because they're really just not auto-reloaders. I want to make a video on the auto-reloaders explaining just why they can be so fun and so unique to the game if you can play them correctly. And you're going to see in this battle just how devastating they can be in the right scenario. We fire one shell into that WZ, and we're going to shoot 2 more into him, tracking him with the second. And here you go, that's 3 shells, you know, doing 960 damage already. And now we could have tapped him again and pretty much one-shot him if we got a nice lucky roll on him, which is just such a cool feeling. You know, bat chat, I would have been reloading for another 15 seconds now. And yeah, it's just such a fun tank, and I can't, you know, explain it enough how unique it is. You really have to pick up the tank to enjoy it yourself. And I'm not saying go down the line and just get the tank because I made a video on it saying it's so good. But I really just wanted to express because it's just such a fun tank. You can see here again, this leopard, I'm able to shoot him 1, 2, are we going to get the third shell in? Yes, we are. There you go. That's another 1,000 damage. Now we're at 2,000 damage. And now I can just push on this leopard just like a normal medium tank. He actually bounces the shell off us, but we get a pretty unlucky shot there. However, my M46 Patton slams an HE right into the rear of him, finishing him off. You know, we've already dealt 2,000 damage, and we're just reloading our clip. And that's one of the nice things about the tank, is that when you're not shooting at people, you're just reloading your clip. You know, you're sort of gaining damage per minute when you're not shooting at people, which is really cool. You're able to store your shells for later. You know, unlike the normal tank where an autoloader, if you miss one of your shells, you're done. You can't reload that, and you've just lost, you know, 20% of your damage per minute. And it really sucks. This tank, you know, you miss a shell, well, I'll just reload it in 5 seconds, it's fine. And that's what really makes the tier 8 so broken, is just how ridiculously quick the reload is on it. To be honest, I think they should nerf the tier 7's reload just a little bit on the first round, maybe making it, I don't know, a second longer. Because I think the tier 8, just as much as the tier 10, is also one of my favorite tanks in the game. It doesn't beat the 49 just because the 49 is the 49, but it's just such a unique thing. And you know what? The Progetto is an awful tank for carrying games, and I've learned that the really, really hard way. And the reason is just because, as I've said, the Progetto has an awful damage per minute. It's not super quick. You're going to see here the 704 is going to nail us really, really bad. However, the 704 is now technically a one-shot for us. But look how long that reload is. I'm not going to be able to kill the 704. I tried to slam an HE into him, but now I know he is going to be able to shoot us. However, he did back up. I'm not sure why. I definitely would have gone for that shot there, but you can see it's definitely not an overpowered tank when I'm scared of an Object 704, because he can literally out damage per minute me by quite a bit. However, this tank, the reason again I like it so much, not only is it because it's a tough tank to run, but it's because you have to really know what you're doing to run this tank. When you run an IS-7, you know, you hide the lower plate and you just shoot at the enemy. It's the same thing over and over and over. And that's why I couldn't run an IS-7 over and over every game. It's like the same for a 183. The camera rating's so awful, and you miss so many shots, it just makes you want to rip your hair out of your head sometimes because of the shots that you get. And it's the same way for like an IS-5 or any tank really at any tier. Is if you keep running them over and over, they get boring after a while. But when there's a tank like the Progetto, I could run this tank 100 games in a row and I wouldn't get bored because every battle has a different scenario and a different ending. This battle I have to play really consciously, and that's what you pretty much have to do in the tank every battle. But because it has this really cool clip added to it, you can run it like a flanker, you can clip people out, you can sit at the back of the map, run it like a tank destroyer, and then go in and rush that tank that you've just clipped out and start shooting at him like a medium tank. Use this tank with the mediums. And then use it, flank behind an enemy tank destroyer, shoot him 3 times, and then instead of running away like you would do in a bat chat, you can continue to shoot that tank destroyer over and over. And you really can't do that in any other tank, in any other tier, to be honest, other than the M4 FL10. But really, even here you saw that 704 almost just completely obliterated us off that map. But now I have to be very, very careful. But if I was in a normal medium tank, I'm only dealing 300 damage with like an Object 140 or even a 121, I'm only dealing 400 damage, and then I've got to back up. This tank, while I'm not shooting at people, my clip is just gaining and gaining shells, which means that this E100 here, if he misses his shot, which hopefully, yes, he does, now I'm going to be able to tap him once. Are we going to be able to track him? Definitely track him. Yes, we do get the track, and there you go. We've taken off, 700, 800 damage there. 2 shots, and now because I'm not shooting at him, I'm able to reload that clip again, which gives me more damage per minute. And it's just such a unique ability. In any other tank, you'd only be able to shoot this E100 once, but because I'm waiting, I've effectively gained damage per minute, and you can see there, E100 shot. Perfect work with this patent. I really want to thank that patent for helping me win this battle. But 1, 2, and are we going to get the 3rd shell in? Come on. Yes, we do. 5,916 damage. And you could have done that in any other tank. If I was in an Object 140, that 704 would have been done a lot quicker. The same for like that WZ. It's just that this tank has such that unique playing style added to it. I really think it's one of the gems at tier 10 right now. And I really think that most of any skilled player will agree that it's just such a fun tank to run. And if you don't have the tank, I really would suggest to go down the line and pick it up because there's nothing like it currently at tier 10, and there will never be anything like this tank ever in tier 10 again. I'm pretty sure there's no other auto reloaders at tier 10 currently in even PC. So you can rest assured that they're not going to make a premium variant of this tank at tier 10. This is it. This is the top of the line. But other than that, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video, and I hope you do like my opinion on my new favorite tier 10 in the game. And if you were wondering what my number 2 and 3 was, I would have to say 121 is my number 2 and Foch is my number 3. But other than that, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did like it, make sure to smash that like button. If you didn't, hit me up with a downvote. Let me know why you didn't like it in the comments down below. Let me know if you have any other opinions on any of the other tier 10s. But again, I just want to clarify, this is my opinion. This isn't me, saying, oh, buy this tank because it's overpowered. It certainly is not overpowered. By any means. This is just my opinion, and I'm not saying anything about the tank other than why I like it. So I'm not trying to argue with anyone in the comments about saying why other tanks are more fun because they're better. This is just my opinion on the tank. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, though. As always, make sure to leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.